Well, we still have to talk about me and you.
What's going on with me and you? What's wrong?
No.
What? This is going in. It starts with you saying we need to talk about me and you. Like what? Okay, go. What's going on?
Not a negative way. So,
Let's air it out.
on Tuesday mornings I do a Bible study with some friends, and
Oh, okay, great.
one of the things we do is we go over our last week typically,
Oh no.
and so
Okay.
so we say we did something good, something bad, and then we call it a buffalo. That's what they call it.
Okay, cool. Respect it.
The buffalo is like something interesting that might have happened in your last week. So
Okay.
give me something good, give me something bad, and give me something unique that's happened in the last week for Paul.
That's okay. That's so fun. When you started that, I was like, did you tell them about what we do? Because that would be the lamest interesting thing fact.
No.
Okay. Okay. So yet again, so it's something good, something bad, and something interesting.
Yeah, unique, funny story, anything that's just different. I don't know.
Okay, so let's go over the bad because that's easy. So Maddie and I are, part of moving back to Illinois was to go find a home, and we have put in about 2, 3 offers, 20K over asking on each. You're not even getting looked at.
Oh
It's
man, dude.
I mean, it's for anyone. Like, and I posted in the group about it, but anyone who's trying to buy a home or just knows about it, it is
Yeah.
an awful time. So, but we're trying to stay positive. We know it's the early spring season, and we'll be fine. Um, Something good uh, is I've really stepped up my training. I've been not as consistent as I wanted to be with weightlifting and triathlon. Like maybe I would do 2 to 3 triathlon sessions and 2 to 3 weightlifting sessions in a week.
Yeah.
But this last week, I've amped it up to now four like truly solid triathlon training sessions and 5 or 4 lifts. So
Nice.
I'm
There you go.
getting back to what we are trying to get done.
Good.
And something interesting that's going to get brought up in a few minutes is I have finished this book that everyone gives me shit for. It's the Competitive Buddha. It's the thing I posted ages ago in T2 that we would do a book club. I'm going to confront Mr. Jordan because Jordan has been the one guy who's really followed up about it. So that is my interesting thing is I finished this book.
You finished it.
And then I'm staring at like 12 copies right now that it's in a box.
That other people were supposed to have so they could finish it.
That I've had since November. Yep, I've had this. So anyway,
hey,
your turn.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses, I guess, but I'll try to make mine quick because we got to get Jordan in here.
We do got to get in there.
We're obviously not running late at all. We're not always on time.
If anything, we are 7 minutes early.
Yeah,
that's a record.
It is. Something good. And the last, I guess we can go off since the last time we talked. I shared it in the chat. I hiked what's called the Goat Trail.
Yeah, sick.
It was. I guess my story is or my good, bad, and interesting is all wrapped into this story because it was a great hike, great views, but I'm deathly scared of heights. And you had like maybe 8 feet of like walkway along the mountain, which sounds like a decent amount, but you also have the mountain sticking out at you as well. So you're like kind of, dipping your head away from the mountain and trying to like walk alongside of it. Yep. And it's a huge drop off. Like you're dead if you fall off.
So I've done those before.
I had somebody I had told that I was doing the hike about it, and he had said, kids could do it. So he's like, yeah, kids could do it. You just got to, obviously be careful with them near the edge. And so the entire time I'm hiking this, all I can think about is my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old not listening and just like jumping off the edge because they don't know any better. And it just freaked me out the whole time. So that would be the bad part was I struggled going up and down it. I was ready to be done with it. And the buffalo, the unique thing was that I got to put my hands and actually physically touch the Buffalo River. So it was a good time.
That is sick. That is sick. And I mean, I'm with you. I'm not fearful of heights, but I totally respect that fear. But I'm sure the view at the top of the hike, especially after those hours, it must have been just well worth it.
Yeah, it's like I'm not too bad when it comes to heights if I'm in something contained. But if
Yeah,
I'm out in the open and I can,
got it.
it was just like, yeah, and then just it was more so the thought of my kids that kept I could not get it out of my brain. So I just was the
Yeah.
whole time I'm taking a step, I'm thinking about it, and I also hadn't I fast pretty much every day, so I hadn't eaten at that point the whole day,
Oh, that's crazy.
and it was like 8 something miles down and back, down and up this yeah this huge mountain.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's not fun.
it was a good time. I probably should have eaten. If I do it again, I'll definitely eat. But all right.
I mean, when you send that invite, and that is a great story. I love the photos. All right.
Enough about us. I'm sending the invite in 3, 2, 1. Sent.
Got some great updates for this call. I've got some great updates.
Yeah.
We've streamlined everything.
He's typing now, so I don't know if that means
that's different.
He's around.
That means he's around, but he has to understand that there's no pause.
You gotta click this link.
He's got to click the link. Is he like, what's happening? Has he said anything?
He's not typing now. I think he's figuring it out.
Okay. All right. Well,
these guys.
I mean, let's be honest though. We are actually, I just looked at the clock. 15 minutes early. So like, he's not ready for us to be reaching out to him at this hour.
It is always funny though, because I'll be messaging them, especially when we're running late, which we're not right now. But I'll message them and be like, "Hey, yeah, sorry, we're running a little bit behind." I'll give them the reason why, and you'll be like, "All right," and then I won't say anything, and like another 20 minutes will go by, and all of a sudden they'll just get hit with a link, and they just have to be so confused by like what's going on. Like, what? No. Because this timer has been going, dude. He's.
Don't worry, I have it on my phone. I'm watching this. Yeah. And I'm getting worried because there is one person that could. Typing. Okay.
I bet there's difficulties.
I think he was on his phone, so I bet you he's going to try and ask if he has to. I feel like I saw when I was messaging him, he was on his phone. Oh, you know what? While we're waiting for this, let me show you something cool. I got. And again, because of blur, I don't know if it'll show up, but I got. Oh my God, that's your face. That's crazy. The reflection. How do we? There we go. This is a event pass for a convention happening in Milwaukee.
Okay.
That I'm so bitter about because it used to happen in Schaumburg, 9 minutes away from my house or my parents' house where I'm staying. Up to Milwaukee, so great. Yeah. But it is for Adepticon, and for anyone who is a mega nerd, Adepticon is a convention for like all things mini wargaming, board games. Like it's games all around, and so I'm really excited. I wanted to go for years, and we finally got the ticket. Oh, all right. Okay, is he typing or is he here?
He's here, I believe.
I'm thinking here. I'm working on.
He's figuring it out.
He's figuring it out. There we go, baby.
He's unverified though.
He's unverified. Is this really Jordan? I think we should like invest in some 2FA, for these calls. I think that this podcast, or what are we? What are we, Austin?
I don't know.
Are we? And we're jokes. That's what we are.
Are we a podcast?
I don't know. I don't think how many more people need opinions? You know what I mean? Oh, is that another?
2 Jordans.
My eyes deceive.
I don't know what happened with the first one. It
wait, you gotta stop. Jordan, you gotta pause. I don't know who's the real Jordan because we have 2 Jordans. Austin, are you seeing 2 Jordans?
I'm seeing 2.
Great.
Watch like Passy show up.
That would be the single worst thing that could happen to this episode. Oh, now we know who the imposter was. So he left.
Okay.
I removed him.
We should be good now.
Okay, fantastic. Jordan,
welcome.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome. We're so appreciative that you are here. We're gonna get to the really good stuff that everybody cares about. Hold on. Oh, okay. Boom. Look at that. Look at how. Did you like how smooth that was, Austin? Did you like that?
Smooth.
Pretty smooth.
Is this one of your fixes you said you're doing?
Look
Your
at
little
this.
Streamline things.
So look at this. Look at this. So this was about 20 minutes ago. This was about 18 minutes ago, and then 7 minutes ago, and then 4 minutes ago. No, about 6 minutes ago. I fixed it. Jordan, are you seeing this? Do you see how fixed?
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Fantastic.
I know.
Well, Jordan, buddy, you had a hard time getting in here. The clock runs until you get it done. So, of course, Austin tells me when he sends the invite. I do a timer. Where do you think you land on this little thingy? Where do you think you're at?
Wouldn't surprise me if I'm after Will.
You think you're over 4 minutes? Okay.
I had some troubles. It wouldn't let me in. I had to work it out.
No worries. Well, fun fact, the number is 4, but it's divided by 2. So the first number is 2, so you're safe. You're safe, but you kind of know where you're going to end up. So, we'll save the suspense. You did it in 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Very admirable.
Honestly, not
Not
that
the
bad.
worst. We'll take it.
But for now, Will, you are our special little guy. You get to be highlighted.
I mean, I don't even remember what happened with Will.
I don't either.
How was it 4 minutes?
It was insane. I don't know. It was the funniest thing because I was just like, it's still going, and it just didn't stop. So
yeah, that'd be wild.
welcome to this show, Austin. Do your thing. Ask questions. Do it.
What's going on, Jordan? How are you?
Oh, doing all right. Just apparently we're going to have a blizzard here in Nebraska, and I don't believe it,
right.
but it'll happen, I suppose.
That was one of my questions is where you're from. I forgot you're from Nebraska. We're at Nebraska again?
So I'm pretty much like 30 minutes north of Omaha. Most people will understand where Omaha is at. So that's the best way to describe it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys don't get a blizzard.
It's usually never as bad as they see or as they say it is. I don't know. It's supposed to pretty much just be windy and snow all day, which is why they say blizzard because of just visibility. But it's really not a huge deal. It's drive and everything.
I mean, I just moved back north, but I lived in Texas. Austin lives in the South. We have sympathies because we know what it's like. How it's just no one's fucking ready. So best of luck.
No, no one's ever ready. You can never have enough ice melt and enough shovels, and it's always a fun time out in the snow.
Man,
Jordan, what's your sweatshirt say? No, hold on, Paul. What's your sweatshirt say?
Hold on, me. Okay.
It's a Bennington Badger sweatshirt. So basically, Bennington's a small town, probably 10 to 15 minutes outside of Omaha. That's where I grew up at, but I went to school and everything in Omaha. And so just something I've had for a while. And then, now I live about 15 minutes away from there. So not too far from home.
I was going to just mention, I went to college out in Peru. I went to Peru State in Nebraska.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I met one of my best friends. He lives in Plattsmouth, which is, not too far from the Omaha region. So
no, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
Sick.
Small world. Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Sorry, Paul. Sorry to cut you off.
No. I interrupted you, and I apologize for that. I think that we just need to realize, though, that it is time for our new favorite segment here. And Jordan, you get to be a part of this. Of what shit town is that bitch Seb from? Now, Jordan, this is where we guess where Seb's from. Why don't you take a guess where he could possibly be from?
Oh, hell.
Last week was Gary, Indiana was Paul's.
That's one of the guesses I had. Give me one town. Just name a town.
I don't know. We'll go with Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. No, not even close.
Yeah,
this week, I think that he's from fucking Texarkana.
Hey.
For anyone that does not know about this nightmare of a town, or whatever the fuck it is, the claim to fame of Texarkana is that this is a horrible version. Hold on. Layers. Boom. that it's the border of Texas and Arkansas. That's all. Stop, Austin. I don't want to hear it. I don't
No,
want to
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
just show you where I live.
You live near Texarkana?
Scroll out. No, I don't live that close to it.
Okay,
Although,
okay.
fun fact: when we looked at moving to Arkansas, the very first house we ever came across was in Texarkana. So
That's crazy. That's
That's
crazy. Well, I'm
yeah.
stoked for this new segment of where does where does Austin live? Okay, so where is maps? Okay, so we're here. Where do we go?
Let's go up a little bit.
Up a little bit.
Go to the left a little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
Now scroll out just a tad there.
Okay, scroll out.
Okay. I'm looking. I saw it a second ago. Scroll out again. Guess I'm not. I mean, I'm really not that close to it, but okay,
Like,
right.
Like,
Okay.
are you lost between Texarkana
Nope.
and
Take
Little Rock?
No, thank goodness I'm not. If you go to Little Rock
Little Rock.
and then go northwest along the interstate there,
Okay.
you'll see a town called Russellville.
Russellville.
You went past it.
It's right there. That's cool.
So
Yes.
that's where old Austin's at.
I just want to say that we started from here,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
you said, and let's just be clear, I was zoomed in this much, and you're like, hey, zoom out. I don't live too far
No.
from there.
We'll play it back, and you scroll down, and I saw Hot
Buddy.
Springs, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not.
This
too
is like
far
the
from
other
that.
side of the country. All right,
No.
all right. Now we gotta. You know what we're gonna do
National
instead?
Forest maybe, but
What part of? Where'd you say you're from? Nebraska again? What part of it?
Blair, Nebraska is where I live.
It's Burwell.
Blair, Blair.
E-L-A. Oh, Blair. Okay. Look at that. Now, wait, hold on. Russellville, Arkansas. By 8 hours away.
I mean, I just did that drive back in July, so
Just you guys should go hang out. Now, here's a fun fact though. Back to Texarkana, wherever that fucking shithole is from. I hate that place. There's not many good facts about this place, but you know what's a fun fact? It boasts, which means it's not even true. They're just saying it is, that they're the second most photographed. Fuck the city. All right, I hate that place so much.
All in all, Seb, are you from Texarkana?
He didn't let us know. Jordan, welcome to the show. I've said that twice. You came from the T2 groupings. We did the scouting for you. I think I messaged you, or did you come through the Seb acquisition? Okay, you came in through me.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about like you getting into the sim racing world, right? You started, when did you start? Why'd you get into sim racing? Why'd you get into? Let's hear about that. Where do we start?
So I mean, pretty much I've always played video games most of my life. And always did like Need for Speed and NASCAR, but the goal was pretty much just get first by any means possible. And then probably 5 or 6 years ago, around the time when the Netflix series came about, is when I started getting into F1 as a whole. And then I figured out there was a game. Played, I think the first one maybe would have been either 18 or 19 that I played. So I mean, I've played on and off for quite a bit. But I did one other league for a while. Didn't end up working out well just because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So, but now as I've kind of watched and paid attention to the sport more, I've learned a little more about it. And then it was first season a year ago, year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then, kind of started with the tier 2 season again. I didn't really have much going on, outside of being a dad and everything and working and all that. So I just wanted something else to do and decided to give it a shot again. And it's been a fun time. I mean, definitely some frustrating times and some stuff I could have done better along the ways, but it's all an experience, just a game.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's no frustrations here. What do you mean? It's such a great, happy place, right, Austin?
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's the best.
It's not.
This is the best place to be right now.
So, you
Yep.
mentioned you're a dad. One kid, two kids. How many you got?
Just one kid. He just turned 4 here recently, and we
Awesome.
signed him up for t-ball, so that's pretty exciting.
There you go.
I did my fair share of sports growing up and into college and everything. So,
Yeah.
it would be nice to kind of let him do it. And I actually am going to be helping coach his team. I did not sign up for a head coach position because don't want to be responsible for like 12 little 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's be too much for me, but hey, I'll help out. That's fine with me.
That's awesome.
So it'll
That's
be a
awesome.
fun time.
That's so fun.
Yeah, for sure. So getting back to F1, you've kind of followed it for a little bit. Do you have a favorite team and driver?
I mean, I guess I've kind of always favored Haas just as, it's American team is, the only one there was. So they've always
Yeah.
been kind of the underdog. So, I mean, I've always liked Haas and, I think their driver pairing with Kevin and Roman, that was kind of one of my better parts that I liked when I started following at least. So like those two stick out. And then I always loved Daniel. But he's not racing anymore. So I mean, I got to kind of figure out a new driver right now. So I mean, I guess time will tell.
For sure.
It's funny. I have a lot of respect for you saying the Romain Grosjean and Magnussen pairing was your favorite. Like that is a crazy pairing from that time. Those two drivers. I mean, and then you picked up on the show right after the Fireball crash, right?
It would have been before the Fireball crash because I remember when I at least remember when Aston Martin was Force India. So it might have been a little bit beforehand then, but yeah, I remember watching that crash and yeah, it was pretty wild. But for the longest time, I just watched the show. I never watched the races or anything. So now I've gotten more into the races in the last year or so, and I've somehow watched it just as much as football. Not sure how, but it's worked out.
How big of a Cornhusker fan are you?
Not actually not a Husker fan. I'm an Auburn fan. So
really,
yeah,
how is that possible?
So I have a lot of family down in Alabama. My dad grew up in Alabama, and so I just kind of inherited that. Had one uncle that liked Alabama and not Auburn, so that that was always interesting. But so I kind of just always kind of stuck with that, and it has always kind of worked out well for me in the end. So we just stick with it all the way around.
That's why I would not have guessed that. Just my short time in Nebraska. I mean, you could not go. If it was a Saturday, you could not go anywhere and not come across a billion Husker fans. And just
I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, I don't hate the Huskers or anything. I mean, I don't not root for them, but if Auburn and Nebraska were playing, my money's on Auburn day in day out, no matter what. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So Jordan, we're here for the segments. We're here for a good time. We got a segment I want to talk to you about right now. It's called Explain This Post. This was, by the way, yet again, Jordan, I don't know if you know this. This was made by Real Deal Graphics, whatever the fuck they call themselves. So this is where we find photos. We're just curious. Tell us a little bit about them. Give us a story. Let's have a conversation about it. So I want you to explain. I think I saw these behind you. Talk to us about these RC cars because this is sick. So let's hear all about it. What do we got?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I do a lot of RC car racing. So the blue truck is actually behind me. It's right here.
That's awesome.
So we do 4x4 sprint oval cars, and so basically we use a short course truck chassis and everything, and then just throw like modified and late model bodies on them. And I've been doing that for probably 7 or 8 years now and spent way too much money on them. And then this one actually has more of a dirt oval body on it. And then I have another one that I need to paint still. And that one in that picture there, that was actually one of my very first ones that I, really started to soup up and hop up. And it went from not having much power and going, 15, 20 miles an hour to throwing brushless motor in it and making it pop wheelies left and right. So it was a real fun truck.
Yeah. And so like RC hobbies, right? So I've dabbled with RC planes. That was my thing. My brother did a few RC cars. He did some drift cars. I can't remember the CC or anything, but or whatever the engine sizes are. Can't remember them. But are you doing anything else in the RC world, or is it just the oval racing stuff?
So I do the oval racing, and I have some little ones as well. I actually have one right here. So these are more like a 1/18 scale.
Oh, that's sick.
So it'd take like something like that for a body. And they race those ones on carpet. So there's a hobby town that's probably 20 minutes away from me. It's just on the northern edge of Omaha, and they have a really big track, a huge complex and everything. And so they do the indoor ones there, but there's the oval track is in Fremont, which is pretty much a half hour west of where I live now. It's where I used to work there. So that's where I got involved with all that. And there's also, they have crawlers, which is kind of like trail trucks. And so this is one body I have for one.
Oh, that's sick.
It's a Toyota. I've put lights in it. This one, I believe, has a winch on the front of it that works. I don't know where it's at right now, but yeah. So I mean, there's plenty of stuff you can do with the RC hobbies. I mean, they, like you said, airplanes. Those are pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're fun.
Something you can spend a lot of money on for it to crash and burn real quick.
That is unfortunately how like my first three went.
Yes.
No, but I mean that's sick though. It's a cool hobby. It is so time consuming. Like you said, tons of money. So I don't recommend it to anyone who enjoys money in their pockets.
Cars in all aspects, between real cars, fake cars, whatever. If it's anything with a car, it's probably expensive.
Yeah, there is no doubt there. What about you, Austin? What do you got? What do you got for him? Throw it back.
Well, since we're talking about cars, what is your favorite type of racing? Like, is F1 your go-to, or do you watch NASCAR? Anything else outside of F1?
I did watch NASCAR a little bit growing up, but you paid too much attention to it now, but pretty much F1's my go-to now. I mean, that's the only thing I really go out of my way to watch. I mean, I think it's the IMSA, if they're racing and they're on, I'll watch them. I watched the 24-hour that was in Daytona, I think that was earlier this year. I think, but anyway, but that was pretty cool because I'd never watched one of those races before. So just to see, all the different categories racing on one track at one time, but it all being, their own race. Yeah. It's kind of a cool concept, just something you don't really see that much, ever. So that's kind of a cool little deal that I've seen. And they run at a track over in Iowa from time to time. So, I mean, not too far away. So might have to go out there at some point and see those guys.
That's sick. Sure. I was just looking up IMSA because I was trying to remember the style of racing they got there. So they basically like it, well, I guess it depends which sort of IMSA race, but they're basically road cars. It's like GT racing. Yeah, That's absolutely sick. That is fun. Well, speaking of, hold on, stop, wait. Shit. Nope, don't do it.
Okay. Paul, what are you doing?
Now, you just interrupted me again. Okay. Speaking of cars, all things, let's talk about the news. The news. This is, of course, a bit where we talk about what's going on in the world. Look how far you can go. In the world of F1 motorsports, and then we have a conversation about it. So, next week, we are racing in. Where are we racing next week, boys? Where you don't know where where is
Singapore, right?
Oh no.
What are we talking here?
They're okay. Fuck. Okay.
They're racing talking real F1.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
real F1.
China.
Okay, I don't know. I just kind of figured. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Next week, China. As some of you may or may not know, the FIA is introducing a new technical directive, whatever they call them, basically scrutineering a little bit more on the flexi wing play on the rear wings. I believe the clearance is 2 millimeters currently, and they're dropping it to 0.5 millimeters. I don't know. Cool.
Thanks.
I'm a little bit awkward. But I want to do a little interactive session because, and we're gonna rattle this off. I want to rattle this off fast because we gotta do a ranking. Jordan, you've been watching F1 for a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go down the order here. I just want you to give me a name, what place you think each of these rookies go. 1 is of course the best. 7 is of course the worst. Let's go through your top rookies. Let's go with number 7. Who's number 7?
So 7,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, Bierman.
Oh, okay.
Bierman, yeah.
Let it be known, I was not trying to deliberately mess with him by hovering over his name. It just happened that you didn't pick the right one. Anyway, okay, Austin, number 5. Who's the 5th worst rookie on the grid right now?
I've put zero thought into something like this.
That's the point. It's spontaneity.
Give me Jack.
Jack. That's crazy. All right. Now I'm gonna pick number 6. I'm gonna pick number 6. It's not Fernando Alonso. It's gonna be Gabriel. I'm not even gonna try. Jordan, number 4. Who do we got for number 4?
Or I'd probably put Isaac Hadjar.
Izaki Hajar.
Yeah, whatever.
We're very sorry for him. We cried many tears. Austin,
Yeah.
number 3.
Liam Lawson.
Oh. Yeah, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is crucial, Jordan. Who's the number 1 rookie right now? Is it Fernando Alonso or is it Kimi Antonelli?
No, I'd have to go just off of recent performance and everything. It's got to be Kimi for 1 and then Fernando for 2.
Yeah, you got it right. So that is the order. No, we'll respect your choices. We'll respect him.
I mean, Fernando is who he is, but I mean, Kimi had a hell of a race. So,
well, people, this is another ranking. This is 2 for 2. I am not doing this again because Excel and I are not friends some days. So no more of this. No more of this. Thank you for participating in that session of the news. Austin, what do you got?
You kicking your feet up now, Paul?
This is in the contract. Like, this is how it is.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into a little bit more, and let's get into Jordan's SNS career so far. So, in the races in Tier 1, correct me if I'm wrong, but have not come away with points yet. Correct?
have not.
But we're close.
Gotten close quite a few times, but have not.
We're gonna get there. I can feel it because the last 2 weeks in Tier 2, we've scored some points, Jordan.
Yes, we did.
We got 14 total points here.
10
at Monza,
right, yeah.
10 at Monza, 4 at Austria. Dude, this is gonna translate over to Tier 1. I can feel it. But what do you think's the biggest difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2?
To be honest, I'm really not even sure. Because there's some pretty quick guys in Tier 2.
Absolutely.
Some that would rival the guys in Tier 1 that are real quick. I think there are a couple drivers that are, I can be faster, more consistent with, and just, be better. And the one thing I'm really trying to work on is just being more consistent all the way around and not making little stupid mistakes. And I have had couple races where I haven't had to change a wing or something like that. So I've just been trying to focus on being a little more consistent all the way around, and I think eventually, it'll transition over into Tier 1. Hopefully, these last couple weeks and actually score some points before the end of the season, because you never know what's going to happen in the off season with restructuring and everything. So but I just all the way around. I think the competition is similar, but I just think that Tier 1, just everyone's fast, and Tier 2, just not quite everyone's fast.
Yeah. I feel like I'd break it down similar. You've got some guys at the top of Tier 2 that like you said, they definitely can compete with the best of the tier 1 guys for sure. But then I kind of feel like there's a little gap there in tier 2, whereas you have more depth in our tier 1 league as of right now. But I also was curious, do you think the having the shorter races is working in your advantage in tier 2 versus tier 1?
I
Or
think to an extent, just because I've never really done full races in the game, so I've never had to sit there and focus for that long. And I
yeah,
kind of find myself 3/4 of the way through, kind of almost, I won't say dazing off, but just losing focus. And I just have to remind myself like to snap back into it.
yeah,
And just really understanding some of the strategy part of it and like pit stop and all that for just being crucial in the success of the race. That's
yeah,
another thing where, if we're doing a 50% race, I know I'm probably going to start on mediums, go to hards, whatever. But with a full race, I mean, some races you could go 2, some races you go 3, sometimes it's 4, and then if you wreck a wing, that really just throws everything off and you just got to try to fight back. So,
Amen.
absolutely.
Speaking of racing, Austin, I reactivated. I got a question. Because when Austin asked a question about the league, I kind of was like, oh, we have to ask this. So I had a little chuckle to myself. Tell us what it's like to be teammates with Passy. I don't know how to say his full name. Tell us what it's like working with this guy Passy. It's an
uh,
interesting one.
it's interesting. I mean, him and we don't talk that much or anything, and usually in the race we're not on the same radio. But I mean, and so that can definitely create some interesting times. But other than that, I mean, just within the league and everything, I mean, I have no issues. We get along just fine, and he can be very direct and call you out for everything if
Dude,
needed. If no one else is going to do it.
That's
he
a
is
good observation.
He is 100% personality wise, although he's much smarter, obviously. But he reminds me of Kevin Malone from The Office. Because Kevin will be so
God.
dude, he will be so direct about things, and I'm like, that's Passy. Every night we watch it, I'm like, that's Passy. That's what he would say.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
there's only a few people. Oh, sorry.
It cracks me up because he takes everything so serious in the league, but then the minute the race happens, it's we might wreck, we might not. Who knows? Chances are we're gonna wreck.
What chats are you guys on during the race? Are you in the lobby or like where are you guys? Why aren't you guys on the same chat?
I want to say he's in the V card chat. I don't know which one for sure, but I know he's not in the kick one.
Yeah.
And then so I usually just stay in the race lobby. So.
Gotcha. Was just curious. Not that I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the chat can be useful, especially if you're racing around your teammate. And that's really only gotten in one race where it kind of would have been useful to have, but other than that, we kind of work out just fine with it.
Yeah, I will admit, Alpine and Ferrari, we work pretty well together. And it's nice because they're, especially when Loic was able to race, he was so far up ahead. So we literally had somebody at like each section of the grid,
yeah.
And like we knew what was going on everywhere, and we would always relay, who's going to the pits and those kinds of things. So it definitely could work to your advantage, but I mean, it kind of is what it is. I was just curious to see. I'm a little surprised. I feel like you and Passy would get along, and obviously you guys do in the chat. There's nothing there, but I just feel like he would. I could see you guys being friends just based on personality. But yeah, that's interesting. Trying to think if we got anything else to ask here.
I mean, my brain's shut down. So
it's shut down completely.
That's how we're Jordan. This is. Oh, actually, no. I have the perfect way to close this. I have the perfect way. You ready for this?
Are you gonna close it?
Yeah, this is like I had this ready.
Okay,
I got this just for Jordan.
Two more quick questions.
Yes, and then we'll. Okay.
Okay. Singapore. Have you practiced Singapore?
Where are we at with Singapore? Not a whole lot. I've probably ran maybe 10 or 15 laps on it. It's definitely a tricky track for sure. I mean, I thought that China was difficult, and I'm having more of a rough time with this one for sure. So we'll see on that one. And I'm hoping to race, but with the weather coming, power could go out. So we're gonna hope
Oh
it
yeah.
stays on just in time to race. And
That sucks.
the storm should be done by then, but with heavy winds, you never know.
I think so. I won't be racing tomorrow, but I'm not planning to. But it's a good opportunity if you can stay alive. It's a good opportunity to score points. I can feel it. I know we've already had some lower numbers lately here at the end of the season with a couple weeks left. So if you're able to get on there, just stay alive, score some points. Last question. I think I saw you say something in the group chat the other day about managing ERS. Are you still auto ERS?
So I have been running auto ERS lately. I've been practicing some using regular ERS. I also just turned traction control completely off, and I'm going on controller. So I'm trying to slowly adapt into it. So I've been doing that for about the last 4 races, which has seemed to work out in my favor, at least if I know the track. But just understanding the tire wear definitely towards the end of the race can get spotty. I'll go to where I would normally go with the throttle, and then I'm losing control. So but I never before raced without traction control off. So the fact that I'm doing it, I'm cool with that.
That's good. I race with it on, and I don't do automatic battery, but I did for a while just because of my lack of time to prepare, and I just felt like I never could get a feel for it. But this year I forced myself to do it, so that's good that you're trying at least, because it's just going to make you better. But
yeah, I think that'll be the next step, is working on the ERS and everything, working on how to figure out to use the battery properly. So
yeah, well, you're definitely getting there. You've improved a lot. I mean, we've raced around each other a little bit, so I've noticed the consistency get better with you and your time. So just keep at it. That's it for me on the questions. Paul, you got your perfect way to end it.
I got the perfect way to end it. And Jordan, I'm very glad that you're part of this league. It's been so fun chatting with you and getting to know you more, because I should have talked to you more. I didn't. I mean, if I wish I knew about the RC car stuff sooner, because that is sick.
A lot of fun.
But you talked about earlier that you're going to be a coach. I'm so excited for you, because I believe mentoring people, coaching is a great thing in life. And I picked up this book, and I want to talk to you about it. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. It's The Competitive Buddha. It's the book that I promised for the book club, and then I underestimated how much more stressful my move is going to be. But I have everything. And funnily enough, I have 12 boxes sitting, or 14 boxes sitting in a different room, that I'm organizing all the hats and all the books. And to prove to you that I have these books, this is the actual original box, which has 12 copies of this book. So Jordan,
all right,
I'm gonna okay, fuck you. Don't say it like that. That was so rude. That was so rude. I deserve it. But
it's wild. It's wild that those 12 books are at your house, not where they should be.
Well, because I bought them. I will
like
have
6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had them since November. There will be a whole video on just that saga.
You have half of Jordan's address, so the rest of it you to figure out.
I'm just gonna start throw him out a plane. But I will make sure yours goes out first, and I will even get express shipping, because you've been the most interested in this. You've asked about it, and I feel awful. So this will be getting done in the next week. Can't wait to start reading it.
What you said?
Next week. Fuck
okay.
you. I'm trying to be like genuine stuff. I'm still gonna stop it. I'm gonna follow through.
I expect you to sign the interior of that book.
Oh, every one of them. They're all gonna get. Here's the thing. I'm gonna write some handwritten letters. But if you don't get one, you know what that means.
Sign it. Well. Sign it so it can be the first thing that actually loses its worth immediately.
That's
besides driving the car off a lot.
Jordan, gosh, Austin's so mean. He's so mean. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir.
That sounds good.
We're gonna promptly kick you out.
Yep.
And
Good
then,
luck tomorrow.
Good luck, man.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a good
We'll
night.
see you. You too.
I was trying to do a nice thing. You just ruined it. I was trying to
Me?
be. Yes, you.
Oh.
You diminished how shitty I am at following through with this. Here's the thing. I spent the money. I spent it. Like I have everything here. I spent. Oh, postage is so expensive.
Paul, we had to make fun of it because it is what it is.
It is what it is. I deserve it so bad. Oh man. Oh man. Alrighty. That's a wrap on this week's episode, guys. Tune in. We're recording the next one next week.